Cooking Crave, brought to you by ENG Lending, your area's #1 choice for home loans. 456loan.com.
Coming up on today's show, we have 2 submitted recipes for chicken tortilla soup and some Buckeye Brownies. They are fabulous. That's all coming your way next on Cooking Crave. Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterer.
And I'm Laverne.
And we have a couple employees at Consolidated, actually more than a couple, but they like to cook, and we have contests, and we have 2 here that are fabulous. We have a chicken tortilla soup that Brittany Wentz had made and I thought was awesome. And then Michelle Sikora had given me her recipe for the Buckeye Brownies. They're Buckeye Brownie peanut butter cookies.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Sounds good.
Fabulous. If you'd like to cook along with us, just grab a pen and a piece of paper and write down these ingredients. For the chicken tortilla soup, you're going to need 2 to 3 chicken breasts, 2 cans of nacho cheese soup, 2 cans of cream of chicken soup, 2 cans worth of 1 or 2% milk, whatever you prefer, a can of green chili enchilada sauce, a can of diced green chilies, a small jar of salsa, and whatever you'd like to add in on that, chips or cheese or however you enjoy your soup that way. For the Buckeye Brownie peanut butter cookies. It's just fabulous. I can't wait.
Yeah.
You need a box of brownie mix, 4 ounces of cream cheese, a 1/4 cup of butter, an egg, 2 tablespoons of flour, and 1/2 cup each of peanut butter, creamy peanut butter, and powdered sugar, and then 1/2 cup of chocolate chips and 1/2 teaspoon of olive oil.
Pretty easy.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, but going to be good.
It's going to be fabulous. So where would you like to start?
We want to get the soup on.
Okay.
And we've made chicken tortilla soup in the past, but this is definitely different ingredients, a little bit different twist on what we've made before.
Okay.
And put my burner on here. And the thing with this here soup, it's easy to put in a kettle on the stove make, but it's also an awesome way to put it in a crock pot and just let it simmer for, about 4 or 5 hours on low. So if you have going to work and you want to have something quick for the supper, put it in your crock pot. If not, we're going to just put it in the big kettle on the stove here.
Okay.
So, these are all our ingredients. So we have the can of chilies and a can of green enchilada sauce.
And with a lot of these ingredients, the enchilada sauce and the chilies, you can make them as hot or as mild as you want this soup to be.
Yeah, you can, because these are, fairly, spicy ingredients. Mm-hmm. And then it says a small jar of picante sauce. I got picante salsa here, but yeah, a small jar of salsa sauce, whatever you like. And there again, like you said, you could make that pretty hot, because you can get some hot and some mild and that. So now we're going to add our 2 cans of cream of chicken soup.
Okay.
And then we have a couple of cans of nacho cheese soup. And when you hear all of these ingredients, it definitely makes you think of tortilla soup, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And the chicken, I pre-cook the chicken. That you need to do that, and you want to shred it or cube it, and ready to go. So you can have that ready anytime, and have that in the fridge for a few days if if you're not making the soup right away.
Okay.
And that, but so I'm going to get all that in there. And you know what, Rhonda, would you get a wire whisk in the drawer?
Sure.
That'll be a little bit easier to mix this up. Okay, that's great. And, it says 2 cans of milk about that, and that's a cup.
Okay.
A can, that is about a cup there, so I have 2 cups of milk. And one thing with that too, hey, if you need to add more, you can, if you want it a little bit thinner, you can do that and stuff. So I'm going to turn that up just a little bit to get it going, and then put it down so it doesn't scorch. So we're just going to mix this up here. And once we got that mixed, we're going to add the milk and the chicken and just let it do its thing on the stove. We'll stir it a couple of times just because, you know, all the soup mixes here are they're cold. They don't want to dissolve as easily as once they're nice and warm.
Sure. Would you
So
like the milk in there?
Pour the milk in there. And it's kind of like, you know, I was looking at just, oh, well, that's not such a big recipe, but it's going to make a good portion. You know, it's going to feed your family of 4 to 6 easily with that. Get that. Just mix there. You can smell the you know, tortillas, you know, with the spiciness of that all. Yes. So, okay, I'm going to set that aside there. We'll put our chicken in. And I did have 3 breasts there. And, it, you know, when you're taking that out, it says, that doesn't seem like much. But really, when you cook it up and get that shredded, you have a good, you know, amount. That was a good 3 to almost 4 cups of shredded chicken.
Okay.
And for this, I do like to shred the chicken versus cubing it, you know, and stuff there. So, oh, I'm going to just put that there. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit to once it gets going, then we'll, you know, turn it a couple of times.
Okay.
But let's get going with our Buckeye peanut butter brownie cookies.
All right.
I don't know if I said it all, but that's in there.
I think you hit all the major ingredients there.
It's going to be as good as it's a mouthful to say what it is called. So
yes.
What we're going to do is we're going to start with cream cheese. And I believe that recipe said 4 ounces. Is that correct, Rhonda?
Yes.
Okay. And 1/4 cup of butter. That's a 1/2 stick. And I already had that out to get it nice and soft. There, I don't want any paper in there. And then 1 egg.
Okay. So not a lot of ingredients and pretty simple ones that you can just whip these up pretty quickly.
That's going to be right there, yeah. So this is all that, the wet ingredients in. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour and a box of your favorite brownie mix.
Okay.
You know, the chocolate fudge. I mean, we like the dark if we can have it. So we'll just get that mixed up a little bit there so it's nice and creamy. And when you mix the brownie mix in and stuff, it's going to be a little bit sticky, but not, you know, we're still going to be able to work it. We're going to take 2 cookie sheets and let's put parchment paper on both of them. In fact, I think they're going to be, this pan is going to be long enough just to do it like that. So as long as I got my scissor and we got it out a little bit more, let's just cut that. There you go. And just, yeah, now I think you can just cut. Oh, well, let's see.
Hey, you do that.
Here, let's just roll that up a little bit in here. There we go. I'm going to just scrape this down here a little bit. I want to blend this a little bit more till it's a little bit smoother because, you know, you're not going to do a lot of mixing with the once the brownie mix is in there.
Okay.
You don't want to do a lot there. Okay. So that's mixed well there. So I'm going to add the box of brownie mix. Put that there, and the 2 tablespoons of flour. And I'm going to just put this on low. I just want it mixed enough just to mix. I don't want to beat it too long because brownie mix you usually don't. You just kind of...
well, most of the recipes are, you don't even put it in a mixer. You just do it by hand.
And if I didn't want to make sure that cream cheese, butter, and that was blended well and smooth, I would have just done it by hand. Okay, just need my... Just get that mixed up in here. So then what we're going to do is we're going to make like 24 balls on here and put it in, and we bake that, and then once it's baked and it would come out, we're going to have the peanut butter and powdered sugar mixed together, and then we're going to drop that on top of the cookie when it's warm right out of the oven.
Okay.
And then we're going to drizzle it with a little bit of chocolate chips, melted chocolate chips. So doesn't that sound good?
It sounds fabulous.
Very good. Okay. And it is so nice that, we get submitted recipes, and it's nice to know that you can have recipes that are not so difficult and that are going to be as good as, if you spend, hours with it.
Right.
Busy work schedules, family, we all appreciate having something easy. And brownies, do you think there's anything more than kids love is brownies?
Oh.
That's just a...
I don't have to tell anybody, but Addison loves brownie mix.
Well, but I do know she pretty much likes any mix.
She does.
Yep, and that, so. Okay, I'm going to just blend that a little bit more here. Bring that down.
Yeah, it's a pretty stiff dough, and it's a cookie dough.
It is. So. Okay. So we'll get started. What I'm going to use is just a little scoop here to take out the cookie mix, because like I said, I want it says 12, so let's just, why don't you take out a few and give them to me, and then I will just roll them in a ball. And that, so this is what you're going to, and the dough is a little bit sticky, but it's still easy enough to work with. So like we talked, we got the oven on at 350. I believe this only takes like not even 10 minutes to bake. I am trying to remember the bake time on it. And so we'll go, but our viewers are seeing what we're going to do is just get, all that mixed up into the balls there, and we'll get them into the oven, and we'll check our soup, and we're gonna have a nice treat for when the family comes home tonight for supper.
Sounds great.
Okay, now we're back. We have all the cookie dough out here. We're gonna just press them down just a little bit to flatten them.
Okay.
And again, got the oven on at that 350, and it says to bake 12 to 14 minutes. And I'm going to actually just start at the 12 because, you don't want it to get too dry. Your cookies, they get harder the longer you bake them. So I usually find that less time is better. So I'll have you open the oven for me, and we'll put that in, and we'll get that set there. And we're gonna, like I said, 12 minutes there. And let's just stir that soup. I can see it's starting to steam a little bit. It's getting to that boiling point. And it looks like it's just going to be a really nice consistency. It doesn't look like it's going to be too thick or too thin or whatever. So while the cookies are baking, what we're going to come over here now and do is I want to put the half a cup of powdered sugar in here and the peanut butter.
Okay.
And different color this time.
It
Hey, I got
is.
some more. Okay. So we want to mix this here, and then we actually can, we're going to make just tiny little balls. We want to make 24 of them, and then we're going to put them on top of the cookie when it comes out. And then I said we're going to melt some chocolate chips and stuff just to drizzle over. It's going to be really a nice looking festive cookie. So
Sure.
all right, so I'm going to just get a spoon here and mix that up. I'll probably end up using my hands like I usually do. And we'll take out a little plate so that we can actually, just when we're making the little balls, we can have them ready.
Sure.
So when the cookies are done. I think this would be, a really fun one for kids to do because, it's not so difficult, not a lot of big ingredients or time-wise, so.
Well, they get to play and make dough with their hands. And
Yeah. Yes, definitely. It always works best just to get right in there with that hands. Okay. Get all that powdered sugar. Now we'll just have to kind of estimate here with making the 24 balls. And when we made the cookies, it was just perfect for
yeah,
the
that
20.
scoop worked perfect.
Yeah, it did. And now, they were all nice and uniform and that. So I'm going to just work that a little bit to get all that in. Okay, let's just put it in here. And let's just take a little pinch out here and let's see. Might make it a little bit, if we need to take off a little bit at the end, if we need more, but I think we're going to have, so it's, what would you say, about a marble size we're going to start with?
Sure.
So we're going to get these made so when the cookies are done, we're going to be able to put them on right away. So
Sounds good.
our viewers will see the finishing product.
Call 456-LOAN right now. We roll up our sleeves, get your ducks in a row. For veterans and first-timers too. We'll find the best home loan to get you into your new home. Meeting any hour for you. It's as simple as 456-LOAN. Call 456-LOAN right now. 456-LOAN. Call 456-LOAN right now.
ENG Lending. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Country Rose Cafe on East Villard is open for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. Enjoy daily homemade specials, caramel and cinnamon rolls, several different kinds of homemade pies made fresh every day. Country Rose Cafe is also famous for homemade soup, including their ever-popular Nefla served every Tuesday. While you're in, make sure to pick up your Channel 18 Cooking Crave recipes and like us on Facebook for different specials and announcements. Country Rose Cafe, the way a cafe should be, located at 837 East Villard in Dickinson.
Well, our timer already just went off for our cookies there. And stirring our soup, that has been simmering for a good 15 minutes now. So that's going to be ready to go also. So I'm going to just turn that down a little bit and get my oven mitts here to check the brownies. Oh, great. Nice. There, I'm going to take out the other pan and I'm going to just set it over here, turn off my stove. Before we remove the cookies onto here, let's put the little bit of peanut butter on there and let's flatten that just a little bit, because you're going to flatten that on top to give that a, so even if when we put it on and we just flatten a little bit like that. And the cookies they just kind of crack a little bit, which makes it look nice. And your powdered sugar and peanut butter is really easy to work with. In fact, it wasn't as sticky as the actual dough, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so I'll let you put them on over there. And I even forgot a cookie here. you know, we can just pick that up and put it over here. So we don't actually have to take them out. So then when we drizzle the chocolate over it,
You won't get it on your cupboard.
that's right. So
I'll learn something today.
Less to wash. Okay. So while you're putting that on, I'm going to melt my chocolate chips here.
Okay.
And I'm going to just, it says like half a teaspoon olive oil in there, and that just helps that to mix down a little bit and make it a little softer. And then we're going to put this in a bag, and we're actually going to just drizzle the chocolate chip over there a little bit. So
Okay.
let's put that in the oven, or microwave, I should say. And I'm going to start that at just 35 seconds because it does not take very long for that to melt. And I certainly have overdone some already in that. And I do find that if you use a little bit better brand of chocolate chips, they melt smoother than
Yes.
you know, some of the store brands. Not that they're not good, it's just, you know, a little bit of difference. Oh, it looks like we're gonna have, yeah, it's been a long time since I've been in school, so if I didn't learn how to count right, it's my fault. Okay, we'll set that aside. And let's just pick that up and put that over here. Okay. So I'll just put this aside. Let me check the chocolate chips. I just started with 35 seconds. It'll take a little bit more, but I just want to get that mixed up there. Okay. So we can see that it's pretty soft, but of course it's still going to take I'll put another 30 seconds on that there. So get the soup stirred here. I'm going to turn the burner off for this because this is done now. So as soon as we get the chocolate chips melted, we're going to be able to bring out our soup.
All right.
And
Smells great.
we can top the soup with some corn chips if we, or you know, regular chips
Cheese
and cheese. It's going to be good. Even a dab of sour cream would be pretty good on that, or whatever. So it's just whatever person likes. So
Absolutely.
okay, just about ready to be. There we go. Okay.
Hot.
It is a little bit hotter than I expected it to be. All right, so let's bring it over here and make that.
Super creamy now.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is, we had a sandwich bag right in front of my nose.
It is.
Okay, I'm going to have you hold that and make sure that that bowl is still a little bit too warm. So we're going to, let's see. I want to try to get that down in this corner more. So, yeah. Get it. You know, you probably could just drizzle with a spoon on it versus this particular step, but, you know. Now we're just going to cut a tiny little hole here. And just make a little swoop across.
They look delicious. They smell great.
Okay. There. Okay. You know, it's just what you want here. I probably just get some on and, you know, if I have more, we can go kind of back, but I don't want to run out here. So just however you want to do it. I could just see all the grandkids diving into these.
Oh, absolutely. Chocolate and peanut butter combo is one of the best that there is.
It is.
And these weren't hard to make, and they didn't take long.
No, it didn't. Whoop, that one got a good dab.
They'll probably disappear faster than they actually took
Yeah, I think
to
so.
make them.
Yeah. And while I'm just finishing up, why don't I have you get some of the soup?
I can do that.
And then we'll get that. And the recipe or their directions for the chocolate chips, it says to melt it in the bag, but I was a little concerned with trying to melt that in a bag. Just in case you got it a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. We don't want plastic in there, so great. Okay, so bring that over here. We'll move that, and we can get some cheese on top of that. There, put a little cheese and a few corn chips, and I'm just need a plate to put my cookies on. Well, using that parchment paper sure is going to save a lot of cleaning time.
Yes, it is. Love parchment paper.
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
It's safer for you to hold those cookies anyway.
Okay. All right.
Well, I certainly appreciate Brittany and Michelle sharing these recipes with us. Super easy recipes. They don't take long to make, but they are delicious, and your family's sure to enjoy them. To get these recipes, just go to Consolidated's website, www.consolidatednd.com. Please submit your recipes for us to cook for all of the viewers on the show, and your name will get drawn or put into the drawing.
Right.
I can't talk right now. We'll go into the drawing for a handy-dandy Cooking Crave apron.
They're going to love it.
Absolutely. As always, thank you to our sponsors for making this show happen, and join us again on Cooking Crave when we do it all over again.